up guys, welcome back to Seize the Speed for another video, and today to the right side of me we have a 2018 BMW M550i Xdrive. Let's get into it. As I mentioned, this is a BMW M550i. What that means is that this thing comes with a V8 4.4 liter twin turbo engine. It is the N63, the famous BMW V8 twin turbo. However, this is the third generation, the more improved version of it. This one comes with 456 brake horsepower, and as I mentioned, this is an Xdrive, so it's all-wheel drive, and the launches are crazy. Now, if you're a fan of BMW, you may have noticed their gigantic shift in design language in the recent years on the kidney grills, and this one has gone a little bit larger compared to the old 5 Series, but it still looks pretty elegant compared to the rest of them. Overall, the side profile of the car still follows that classic BMW look. It even has the notch on the rear window that a lot of the new cars have lost. These are the 20-inch wheels that come on this car. Honestly, I could take it or leave it. They kind of look a little bit cheap, but they get the job done. I mean, you barely have any sidewall. As you can see, this is not just a 550i anymore. This is a M550i, which means that they don't sell you just the V8 engine with the old body style. You have to pay more for the M, and you know, they give you a better interior. They gave you a little bit more sporty of a suspension. However, the price tag goes up quite a bit. This car comes with the camera system. It has the 360 bird's eye view, as I'll show you in a little bit, and it also has all the driver assist sensors down there. You got the classic adaptive headlights, and if you look right there, you actually have a functional vent that comes out right there, goes back into there, and comes out the fender, which is pretty cool. You know, a car BMW made has a lot of fake vents. Supra. Then come around back to check out our trunk space. We have automatic opening trunk, pretty nice. It's a decently sized, I mean, you would expect from a 5 Series. Definitely a solid family hauler. And you got trunk close button and a nifty little thing where if you want to just lock the trunk and go inside, you don't have to, you know, take out your remote again. You can just press that, it'll lock the car and close the trunk. Another thing you get with something that has the name M in it is massive brakes. The brakes on this car are actually phenomenal for the size of it. So, interior of the M550i. I'm gonna start this thing up. You got the steering wheel coming into your position. You have the digital gauge cluster, as you can see. It's pretty smart. You can tell how many people are in the car who's wearing their seatbelt. The seatbelt actually hugs you around when you floor it. iDrive is a little bit outdated, but I mean, this is a 2018, so it's not the latest and greatest. I would say that's one downside of this thing. I couldn't even get CarPlay to work in it, to be honest. I don't know if it has it or not. Don't quote me on that. However, what we do have is pretty ambient lighting in this thing. And also we have massaging seats. Look at that. So you can go fast, you can launch this thing like a bat out of hell, and you can get massaged while you do it. While we're on the topic of seats, we have heated and cooled seats, of course, and the seats themselves actually look phenomenal in this thing. I love the interior, I love the quilting, really high quality stuff. Same goes for this steering wheel. This is the M steering wheel. It feels really nice, really thick, like BMWs usually are. Nice airbag, and we indeed have the heated steering wheel on this thing. M logo here, M logo there. You get an M550i on your door sill. There's the 5 on the floor mat. Transmission wise, this car still comes with the ZF 8-speed, which no complaints there. This thing is solid. It actually has gone a lot smoother in the shifts and also in the downshifts. This car in particular is optioned with the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which sounds pretty incredible. There's the speaker right there. All right, getting into the back seat of the M550i. So I'm about 5'10", sitting behind myself. As you can see, I have plenty of room back here, and I have plenty of headroom, no problem. As you would expect from a 5 Series, back seats are actually quite comfortable too. You know, not 7 Series levels of comfortable, but it is pretty nice. However, I have a couple of complaints. You still got a good plasticky panel down here, and even worse, come over here. What is this BMW? I mean, this looks like you just went to Walmart and bought a tray and then upholstered it. At this type of price point, you would expect a little bit higher of quality, but aside that, this back seat is solid. And this car has a bunch of driver assist. You can change the distance, keep lane assist, all that good stuff. And I think that concludes my review of this interior. Let's get into driving this thing. All right, driving the M550i. First things first, we're gonna go ahead and turn off the stupid auto stop start so we can actually enjoy driving this thing without interruption. So we're in comfort mode, drive, automatic, driving this thing around. It's actually super quiet. I have my massaging seat on, and I'm actually enjoying this drive quite well. One thing, I'm not used to the BMW, the new BMW turn signals. I was actually a fan of the old ones. If you know how you work with them, it's actually pretty intuitive. Anyways, excuse the rant. So this is actually first impressions as far as getting into corners goes. Let's switch this thing to sport. Alright, got the manual, sport transmission. These 30 sidewall tires don't do anything for the ride quality. They are super harsh when you hit small obstacles on the road. Now, the Xdrive, however, is doing this car plenty of favors. Massive amounts of grip. Driving this thing is super easy. You do not feel like this is a 5 Series. It feels like it just wraps around you. It feels it drives a lot smaller, as people might say. The steering feel is good, not great compared to what you expect if you like drove a E60, if you drove something with, or even if you drove, if you drove the M cars with the hydraulic steering wheels, this thing is still a little dead. But compared to the older gen, compared to the F10, this is a little better. As I mentioned earlier, this is a V8 twin turbo, and what that means in practical sense is this car comes alive on the highway, where the straight six cars might feel a little bit weak. This car shines. It just goes and goes. It pulls like a damn train. I could be in 7th gear and put my foot down and it still got stuff. You can feel the torque, the down low torque. And then it reminds you that it's right, there is no replacement for displacement. Alright, let's do this again. This thing is just effortless. Absolutely effortless. And the downshifts, if you're used to the DCT in the M cars, or if you're used to the older generation of the ZF, the downshifts jerk you forward. They don't rev match perfectly. This car somehow is tuned to do that. So I could downshift to 3rd. We're not even moving. So the transmission's a lot less clunky. It's a lot more daily drivable. It's a lot more comfortable per se. This is exactly what I would expect from a 5 Series with a beast of a motor. You don't feel all the roughness and all the noise. It's actually super quiet compared to a lot of its counterparts. It's super comfy. I've been getting a whole massage the entire time of the drive of this video. However, don't let that fool you, because when you look down and you look at your gauge cluster, you see some astronomical numbers and it just screams you're about to go to jail, dude. Left foot brake. This is definitely filmed in Mexico. That Okay, so as a whole, this is the M550i. I told you everything I like about it, everything I dislike about it. Please go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know if you own one of these, if you want to get one. What do you think? What car do you have that you're considering replacing with this one? And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click that subscribe button if you did. Smash that like button. Keep tuning in. Peace out. Have a great day. And I'm out.